Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here today because it's actually our 1 year wedding anniversary. Many of you subscribed to my channel when I posted our wedding video 1 year ago. So I thought, what better way to celebrate than to invite a very special guest, my husband, Clinton, to join me when we rewatch our wedding video 1 year later. So welcome to my channel, babe. How are you feeling?
Thank you, thank you. I feel good. I felt like we haven't watched this video in such a long time, and every time I rewatch it, I notice something different. So I want to see, what we notice this time, especially being 1 year from now. So I'm excited to see it and really go through and dissect our personal reviews and how we were thinking about certain situations because everything just went by so fast. I didn't even notice it.
I know, I can't believe it's been a year already. Well, get comfy, guys, grab a drink, and get ready to relive one of the best days of our lives 1 year later.
Yes,
Cheers,
yes,
babe.
yes.
Happy
Cheers.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
These pictures and like this scene came out so nice, and I'm so happy we did a first look. A lot of people don't do a first look.
Yeah. Initially, when you brought it up to me, I was just kind of, I didn't really know much about first looks, but I liked it. I liked the fact that we did that, just to be able to get those jitters out of the way and just to, see you. So I'm happy we ended up doing it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it depends on your relationship, right? Traditionally in weddings, you're not supposed to spend the night before together as a couple.
Yeah.
You don't see each other until you're at the aisle, like ready to say I do. But in our case, we were already living together. We were very close. We do everything together. We have a business together. So it just felt natural that we would want to have a moment to ourselves before doing that.
Yeah.
We kind of spent the morning apart, just getting ready with our friends and our family, and just to have that moment with just each other and like get out that initial reaction
Yeah.
and emotions. I thought was so special and such a good memory, and it just made the ceremony feel a lot less stressful.
Agreed.
Like I felt like we walked into the ceremony just feeling like relaxed and ready.
Yeah. Something else that hit me when I was walking down there is because this particular location was on my dream board as a child before
Yeah,
we
which
met.
was crazy. Yeah.
So when I was walking down there, it was just kind of like, wow, like.
And sad story, but I think it was a few months after our wedding where Jamaica got the hurricanes, and this structure was completely destroyed in the hurricane. It's not even there anymore. So timing, like how
Was everything.
Yeah, is everything. We were so lucky to be able to do this at the time that we did. It might not have happened the same way.
It's crazy how God works, and if you're patient, He works in your favor.
It was so beautiful.
So it was a beautiful moment. Did you want to talk about the males on one side and the females on the other side, and what was the thought process behind that?
In all honesty, I saw Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's wedding video, and I always loved it. I just felt like I always remember the part where they had all the men on one side, all the girls on the other side, and they basically said, we don't have a wedding party because everyone here is our best men, and everyone here is our maid of honors. If you're here, it's because like you're a support system. You're here to help in whatever way possible, and you're here to be our community throughout this marriage. So everyone there was taking a vow to support this union, and I just wanted everyone to feel like they were a part of the wedding.
Yeah.
So it was kind of our version of a wedding party. All the girls were on one side and all the males were on the other to be our support system.
Yeah, I think it was perfect because when you brought the idea to me and I seen the video, I was just like, I think this makes sense because the size of our wedding as well too. I think it was perfect and it worked out.
I'm glad everyone did this because a lot of people were there with their partners, and that's how it shows how close the group got because they were comfortable, separating and being with the girls or being with the guys, and like everyone just felt like family. So it was so nice.
And everybody was within the dress code. I was actually looking for that one person that was gonna stick out like a sore thumb, but for the most part, everybody was
Yeah.
in the dress code.
Everyone looked great.
Yeah.
The vows were so special because we wrote them ourselves,
Yeah.
and I think both of us the whole time were like, "What are you gonna say?"
It was tough to put this together and keep it behind you. And I had a lot of revisions of these because I wanted to sound as natural and as personal as possible. One of the things I did is I watched a lot of videos of how people constructed theirs. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and then me and Travis in Jamaica, I think like hours before, I'm like, okay, bro, I gotta make one last revision. Like, just go through this with me. Help me. Like, I wanted to flow real smooth because I knew what I wanted to say, but I just wanted to structure it in a way where flows real smooth. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to express is how we first met.
That's sweet. I loved the vows. My favorite part of the ceremony. So for my vows, I started like a year before the wedding. So every time that something came to my mind, I would just like make a note in my phone.
Wow.
Even if I heard a song where I'm like, oh, that reminds me of Clinton, I would just like write down the parts of the song that I liked. Or if I saw something on Instagram where I'm like a quote and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's our relationship to a T, I'd write it down. So by the time the wedding came, I just had all these notes. And I think the common thing was just like I felt like I found something so rare. I've always told you that, but I'm like, it always meant a lot to me that you were so reliable and so loyal, and just like I feel like I hadn't been around that other than like my father, so that was really special, and that's what really made me fall for you and trust you and like want to spend my life with you is your ambition, you're hardworking, you're so loyal to the people that you love, and I feel like when you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it, and I just always believe in you and I always trust in you, and I just want to be there to help in whatever way that I can. And not only that, but you also support me, so it's like, that's just, it's rare to find both. So I just really wanted to get that across. And
you definitely did. I was just like, wow, whoa, wow. I was like, God damn. Jeez. When you're in that mode and you're just, you're setting goals and you're knocking off goals, sometimes I don't take the time to celebrate or just say, I can't believe I did that. So to hear you, speak to it in that moment, it really let me know, I was able to accomplish this and we were able to accomplish this together. You know me, I'm always just, what's the next step? What's the next step? So to hear that and the way you broke it down, it really, I really felt it. And I was just like, it really touched my heart.
I'm glad. The whole point of this wedding was like, we've done so much, we've worked so hard, like let's take a moment and just celebrate everything that we've accomplished.
I cringe every time I see this. It's just like fast forward. I practiced this dance for weeks and it just wasn't.
Okay. Would you have done anything differently when it came to the first dance?
I would have went to classes and prioritized, that moment a bit more.
You just seem nervous to me.
Clearly, I listened to too much soca in my time, and we should have just first time should have been a soca song probably. It just wasn't working for me.
It was our first dance. It was perfect.
A for effort.
Challenges are good. It makes you stronger and better. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I wish you all the best, and God bless. Thank you.
And this is one of the moments where I say every time I watch these clips, like different thing highlights, and he was just talking about challenges and how to look at it from a positive perspective. And that's one of the things that, people don't tell you, when you get married and, you create a bond together, that there is going to be challenges. Like a lot of people might see.
It's not a fairy tale.
Yeah. A lot of people might think it's a fairy tale. But, it's filled with a lot of challenges, and, just hearing things like that from, people that are married, it really lets you know, hey, you're on the right track, and you just have to deal with it in a certain kind of way. Like, what's your perception on, dealing with challenges? Do you agree that it makes your bond stronger?
Of course. If you don't have challenges, you're not growing.
Yeah.
And I always say, to me, marriage is a journey of personal growth on both ends. Like, it's a lot of work. I think as soon as you stop trying to become the best version of yourself, it stops working.
Yeah.
On both ends. So it's like being in a constant boot camp of just trying to grow. And holding each other accountable and just being there to support each other to be the best versions of yourself.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are willing to do that.
Exactly.
But with that is going to come, because with that is going to come challenges. So it's not what the problem is, it's how you deal with the problem, it's how you react to it. That's the important part. So I think as long as you're able to maintain communication and conflict management, to keep those things respectful, then you're able to keep moving past whatever comes your way. Well,
We did that.
I just want to know, would you have done anything differently? What's your thoughts 1 year later?
I don't think I would have done anything differently. I think everything happened perfectly. Like, that week was perfect. We got amazing weather, and in the Caribbean, you never know the weather. It could be raining. So much can happen. So I think we got perfect weather, and that day, everything just worked out. It was a magical day, and I felt like it was a special day for us. So I wouldn't have made any changes. What about you? Is there anything you would have done differently on your end? Because I know you took a bulk of the planning.
I agree with you completely. I think doing destination, if I could have the option to do it over, I would do the same thing. It basically gave us a celebration over 7 days rather than one stressful day, trying to get everything into that one day. Yeah. I've been to weddings where it's like you have the ceremony at one location and then you're running around trying to get photos and then you're running to the reception and guests have to find somewhere to stay, because everyone's coming in from different places. And it just ends up being so stressful. People are cooking and trying to clean up after, unless you hire a wedding planner. There's a lot going on. So I felt like the fact that no one had to worry about driving after, everyone could walk back to their room. People still went out after. Everyone kind of did whatever they wanted. And it was 7 days. Like I said, the next day we went on the catamaran cruise. Yeah. It was amazing. Such a nice memory. The group got along so well. I think that's a memory we're all gonna have forever. That's always gonna bond us. I think for our 10-year or 7-year anniversary, we gotta redo this again.
Yeah, that would be good. What was your thoughts about the speeches, and what was your favorite moment of everything?
My favorite moment from the whole day?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's so many different moments that were so special. Just having those moments with my mom, getting ready was so special. I feel like I was so grateful that she was able to be there and that we could share those memories together. She talked a lot about how her mom did that for her at her wedding days. So it was very surreal to be able to do that with her. The speeches, I think, were we tried to keep it short. But after a while, I was like, all right, come on, let's move on to the next part. I always find speeches at weddings to be long. It's hard to get around that because it just seems like the time where people want to get everything out. Yeah. There were some in there that were not planned. So, it made things a little bit longer than expected. But
it's good to hear, people's opinion on how they view, our relationship and what they've seen throughout our time together. And
people that have been close to us in various stages of our life, right? Exactly. Seeing how we are together now, it's always interesting to hear their perspectives. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for watching this again with us. If you haven't seen our wedding video, it's posted on my channel, so make sure you go back and watch that. Comment and let us know what your favorite parts are. If you've been married for over a year, let us know in the comments what advice you have. We want to hear from you. And if you're in the process of getting married, I hope this video was helpful. Again, thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that button. Make sure you like this video, and we can't wait to see you next time.